Hello and welcome back to Red Gaming Tech with myself, Amata, here on the 13th of December. I'm here to give you a little bit more gaming news today, as we have some news for SOMA, which is of course the next game from Frictional Games, who brought us the rather excellent Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Now, as was previously confirmed, this game is coming out to PC and PS4 in 2015, but they have just released a new trailer as well as some details about the game's core principles. Now, I will of course link the trailer in the description for your perusal, but it is quite short and doesn't really show much other than the environments, but even that sent a chill down my spine, as this game is really looking so good, as the environments look just grim and dark and dingy and have that really nice sort of almost sort of grungy sci-fi look to them, which has definitely got my interest piqued. Now, Frictional does list SOMA's 5 design pillars as everything is story, take the world seriously, the player is in charge, trust the player, and thematics emerge through play. And when discussing SOMA's underlying themes and player interaction, Frictional said, quote, "SOMA is meant to explore deep subjects such as consciousness and the nature of existence. We could have done this with cutscenes and long conversations, but we chose not to. We want players to become immersed in these thematics and the discussions to emerge from within themselves. It feels wrong to just shove information down the player's throat. What I find so exciting about having these thematics in a game is that the player is an active participant. There are plenty of books and movies that cover these sort of subjects, but video games provide a personal involvement that other mediums lack. We want to explore this to the fullest degree. Now, of course, we will all play the game differently, have different strategies and different takes on it, and Frictional understands that not everyone will dance to SOMA's tune as intended, and will most likely have a different experience than they planned. And on that note, Frictional still wants their players to feel in control of the progression, and they add, quote, "We do not force players to notice events by use of cutscenes and similar, but assume they will properly explore the environment and act in a rational fashion. We simply set up situations and let the player have full control over their actions. This means that we will let players do stupid things even if they might break the experience a bit. For instance, if they skip talking to a character with important information, then they are on their own after that, and if they get hints that a dangerous creature is approaching, they need to figure out that hiding is the best course of action by themselves. While we do our utmost to make the narrative unfold in a fluent and intuitive way, we will not cater to players that make irrational decisions. The environment is set up to be taken seriously, and we expect the players to do so too." So there you have it. To be honest, that all sounds exactly like what I want from this game. Amnesia: The Dark Descent was one of the best horror games I've ever played. It is firmly in my top horror games of all time. Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, for me, was quite a big disappointment. Now, of course, Frictional weren't really behind the reins as much with that one. It was mostly the Chinese room, and while I feel they definitely brought a nice graphic style to the table, I also think they kind of missed the point a little bit of an Amnesia game. And while it wasn't terrible by any means, it was a good game. It just wasn't quite what I was hoping for with Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. However, SOMA sounds like exactly what I want. Now, I'm very exploration based and rewarding the player for exploration and properly finding information, informing themselves about the world, thinking in a rational manner is definitely a good thing. If you just blast through the areas without exploring, well, you're probably going to miss something important that will get you killed later on. Obviously it won't be a failure state as in you cannot progress, but it will be harder than it should be because you didn't take the time to actually explore, which is definitely something that I approve of in horror games. In horror games especially, it's very important to explore every nook and cranny because, well, for all you know, a really important item is hiding under a doormat or something, and that's always been something in the back of my mind, like, oh, I must look around. But of course, if the world isn't interesting, you don't want to explore, you just want to move past it. So having interesting level design, interesting world design, and a story that keeps you intrigued is vital to making the exploration interesting. And of course, having areas to explore and losing a little bit of that linearity that we saw in Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. So I am really psyched for this game. It's going to be a long wait for this to come out, but I'm sure it's going to be excellent. Frictional have shown that they know what they're doing for horror games. Anyway, hit me up with your thoughts below. Do you think you're going to be picking this game up, or are you just going to take the more amusing way and watch other people play it and laugh at their fear and terror? I'm sure most people are going to be doing both, but still, be curious to hear your thoughts. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.